Alright. Is this the true endgame hunts? The Grim Reaper? Knight of the Splendid Heart. Definitely not, because they're just A ranks. Let's write these down. There's a saying among the Imperial soldiers of the Northreach garrison, steer clear of the drowned tower, lest the specter's sickle reap your root. They speak in typically uncouth terms of the thrall that dwells within the Aether Flood, one whose frightful aspect and command over lesser minions would appear to mark him as a high-ranking member of his species. It's just going to be another Lich. It's going to be a Lich plus. Most pilgrims to the holy capital of Oriflamme pass through the Penitent's Gate on the road from the Royal Meadows. Of late, however, a knight in shining armor has elected to station himself beside this entrance, accusing any and all passerbyers of being Cid the Outlaw, the one who led Prince Dion down the path to destruction, and challenging them to a duel to the death. That sounds fun. Some kind of rogue dragoon. I'm wondering if the reason these unlocked is because I finished the Sandbreak, like, quest line. So maybe more will unlock as I finish these other side quests. Got another quest over there. We got some kind of thing over here.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Come to claim your just desserts?
Genji gloves.
All yours. All done?
What this? Increases damage dealt to enemies by 5%. Huh. Well, that seems good. Let's see what this other quest is. That seems like mandatory to equip, just a 5% increase on everything. But yeah, boring. Definitely boring, but hey, what are you gonna do? At least it's useful.
You alright?
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, I'll let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Now, the problem is that Eda's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo.
The feather.
There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need, a feather.
That or the bird whose arse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
I was gonna say this is kind of a lame side quest, but I'm kind of interested in Gab and Eda's relationship. Like they've done enough for me to be interested in their relationship, so I feel like this side quest is warranted. Otherwise, it'd be a bit of a lame quest for this late in the game, but I'm interested. I want to see where it goes. Oh my god, look at all these quests. Good lord. Okay, let's do the hunts, which are both in Sandbreck. Cape Alcier. Where's that? Alright, let me run to the bathroom real quick. I already said hi to you, heroes.
And now might I help the
You get
garrison?
one. One a day. I'm fresh out. I'm fresh out of greetings.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
How are we gonna arm the garrison without...
Should have just gone straight.
Yeah.
Where am I going? I don't think we ever went up here. I mean, we must have, because it's filled in, but... Oh, I guess we did go up here for that last quest. Holy crap, Joshua, slow down. Can't even keep up. Ooh, spooky. Yep, there he is. I figured that's what he'd be. The Prince of Death. He looks like he got overcooked or something.
That's another one.
It's like a piece of bacon.
Let's try.
It's so great that gives me a 5, like, right off the bat now. And now that I unequipped that thing, the Shiva move doesn't really do much will damage. I'm kind of sad about it. Impulse feels like my only way to stagger things now. That doesn't sound good.
Nice try. Help me, boy. You're a fine hound. Yes. Thank you, brother.
Probably not. I knew he was going to attack, but I was like, well, if I just tank it and punch him in the face, I'll probably win. I was right. Is that what I needed?
I'm getting tired of these things.
I'm getting tired of your attitude.
What do you want?
Oh boy, it's time.
Should last you a good while.
Should last me a good while.
And?
It looks exactly like the other sword. Looks exactly like the Ragnarok, doesn't it? Oh wait, it took the Ragnarok, didn't it? I can't even equip the Ragnarok anymore. It's darker. Great! Like my soul. Alright, where's the other hunt? Right here. Oh my god. There's gotta be another checkpoint up there somewhere.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Haven't seen any of those beastly blue eyes. Do be careful.
I will.
Thanks, Mom.
Run like the wind.
I can't help but feel super goofy when running around on the Chocobo. There's just something about it. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater grind. Can I jump up here? Get up there. Oh, what? Okay. Not sure how that worked, but... Is that my checkpoint? Aha! Now
You
we can
deserve a
fight.
rest.
I'm gonna sneak up behind him. He won't even see it coming.
Have care.
Wait, did he just... He turned around. That was so cool.
You're the outlaw! The one who drove His Highness to madness! On your knees!
What? He hasn't heard. And it doesn't look like he's willing to listen.
What? I thought it was... What? I'm getting played. Oh my god. He was frozen for a minute.
Only your death will serve! All your fault!
I still had more time to deal damage.
Damn it. Dion would have been glad to have you back at his side.
I think I got him. Alright, I guess... more quest time. Still don't know what this is yet. We have a ton of stuff to do here. I knew that a lot of the side quests would be here, because like I said, we have to world build Ash still. Now that we're finally here. Oh! Where am I going? All the way up there? It has a proper Chocobo theme.
Come on.
A 1 second one. They should have done like they did in, what was it? Final Fantasy II? Is that the one with the really annoying Chocobo theme? Just played that like 1 second loop over and over again. Wait, how did I miss? What? Why is this not showing up on the map? Like it's right here, but it's not showing up. There's no icon. It's weird.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
The library.
This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks?
He's a thief.
His interests were certainly varied.
Oh, yeah, maybe it wasn't prioritized. The Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valesthean folk tales than the humble Moogle. Though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps, most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. They are said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, lest naught remain but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, excepting the small dark wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yet there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow: the fact that the creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth. And in the case of the Moogle, the fact may be not so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustration besides the name? Why, it is none other than the Moogle. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the Twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden away far from human view. Chapter 16. Should we read this? It seems kind of important. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to the commonly known is most likely the contraction of bearer of the heavenly blessing, the wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the year, this reverence of their kind would become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The divers nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state, they were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers, for bearers. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church of its followers, banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meeting by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the Twins for nigh a generation and decimated the population of men and bears both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valesthelian people. After the bearers' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valesthea came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. His well-known phrase, "bearers are other than human," has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed's only excuse for their calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies. That's really interesting. So it's not like the bearers were always enslaved or people were just afraid of their power and enslaved them before they could ever get stronger than humans. They actually just had an all-out war and the humans won. The unpowered humans won the war. And that's really the only reason they're enslaved. And the war started because basically they were just, I guess, afraid, but like angry that they were creating their own groups of only powered individuals. So really, it was just a political thing that went too far.
But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Right. It's funny, like, the hypocrisy is hilarious because it started basically as the regular humans feeling discriminated against. And then they won the war, and then not only did they discriminate against the powered, but they completely enslaved them. So what started with them being discriminated turned into the opposite. Oh wow, look at this. I'm not allowed to go anywhere else. It's such important information. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I just can't teleport from this area for some reason. Am I going to get ambushed? I'm going to get ambushed.
Leaving so soon, stranger. We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
I've not seen
Let's see, shall we?
a worse idea. We have some guys with a sword. You're dead. You stand no chance. If you get lucky and he actually can hit more than one person with one of these, it can like charge it even more.
Slow. Nice try.
What a great finishing sound effect. We made a mistake.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Bro, just
Why do you
kill
want
this
it
guy.
so badly anyway.
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Bro, just kill him.
Wait.
How did we? How did he disappear?
Let's get this back to
It's an
Vivian.
open field.
Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
You know what that conversation reminds me of? It reminds me of that absolutely ridiculous movement of people trying to like delete certain history from like textbooks and stuff in school because it's like wars and stuff. Like there was this whole movement of like, let's not teach kids about wars and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's a smart idea. Let's not teach them what's incorrect. So they just make the same exact mistakes again. That's what it sounds like he's trying to do. Like, let's not let them know about all the bad things that happened because it'll make them sad. You know what's going to be more sad? When they make the same exact mistake because they can't learn from the past because you deleted the past. I'm guessing that's what Vivian's probably going to tell us too, but we'll see.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
I'm gonna laugh when she burns it. So glad you found this.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
That's not where I expected that to go, but it was interesting all the same. And I got a hat. And I got more hunts. This is kind of fun. I like how it's giving me hunts a little bit at a time. So I can do a couple side quests, a couple hunts, a couple side quests, a couple hunts, instead of just like, oh, we're at the end of the game, here's all the rest of the hunts. You know what I mean? The Wailing Banshee. Garnick. Cursebreakers came across this creature while searching for survivors near the abandoned village of Garnick. Misled by the abomination's appearance into thinking she might be a local woman, they went to offer their help, but soon it was they who were seeking salvation. Survivors say they can still hear the screams, both those of the white and those of their fallen comrades. Garnick Walud. Did he say garlic? I'm gonna go check out my hat. You missed the beginning of the doggo quest, but we haven't finished it yet. Neat. I still have so many of these to get. I only have like half of them. Oh my god, another quest. Master Clive, I'm aware that these matters of much greater import which demand your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves that I might ask a single favor concerning His Highness Prince Dion.
It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is about.
A quest involving tomes and Dion? Say no more.
Lawsman Hippocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor. This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting, not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him, and I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found, where even the most outlandish opinions...
I'm wondering if that's the same flower.
It can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised...
I don't think that's the same plant.
There is a waterfall in Rickmal's Roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
I was wondering if it was the same plant that the Emperor used to have the guys bring him on a plate. But those plants were yellow, if I remember correctly. And this one is purple. Okay, where... It was in Walud. What was the name of the area again? Forget. Guess I could just look around. Walud's not that big. Garnick? Was that it? I think it was Garnick. Yeah, because I made fun of it for sounding like garlic. And I have a couple side quests I can knock out while I'm here.
Run like the wind.
Beep beep loop doo boop boop. I somehow perfectly weaved through those enemies to not aggro any of them.
No need to ride from here.
Isn't this where I just came from? Maybe that's what I think I was thinking of that quest I just did. I don't think this is right. Where would it be, though? Let's just do these quests.
Let's go.
Maybe I'll get lucky and run into them. Possibly. But I think maybe I just was thinking of that quest. Maybe not. Maybe he's in there. We'll find out later. How do I go around? Careful.
To the stables, girl. This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here.
Wilma, I'm home. That is not
conditioning. This is nothing short of torture.
Trainees succumbing to the crystal's curse or otherwise perishing are to be disposed of with all haste. The graveyard is strictly reserved for the uncursed. Bearer disposal within its bounds is punishable by death.
Disposed of? Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place.
I've recently learned that my own daughter was among the children turned to stone by the brutal training I subjected them to. I had not so much as thought of her since handing her over to the authorities as a babe, but inquiries with the military confirmed it. It was her. I had been torturing my own flesh and blood, and now I see her everywhere. Today one of the children smiled at me in the hope of receiving a few scraps from my table. It was her smile. The smile she inherited from her mother. The mother I killed for giving birth to a bearer. Their ghosts have all come back to haunt me. My daughters, my wife's, all of them, all those children. So many have died at my hand. I can bear the guilt no longer. He done blew it.
This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out.
Any ghosts around here? I just robbed a grave of a
Forked white
potion.
tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. And where is the architect of all this misery?
Zombie noises.
It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed. Nice try.
Hold on, I want to do a cool thing. Boom.
I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
Okay, now this quest I'm interested in.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
Yeah!
Excuse me, gentlemen. Bomba.
Back to the stables, Carl.
Don't mind the bombs that I just let in here.
I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet, but let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether's thickest there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
This feels like a cool finale to her quest. Because we get to explore this area that's like locked away until
the floods
she gets
the
here.
Walls. Bad enough to turn a bearer. I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life.
How's it going, Nat? What about the Golem game? You like the Golem game more? We should play the Golem game instead. Screw this. This game doesn't even have stealth.
This place was no ordinary prison, and I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
No, I will not be playing the Golem game for Meme Week. Because the Golem game is not fun bad, it's just bad.
Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
It's Hollow Month. Because it's scary bad. It's scary how bad it is.
They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but Akashic down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
Gravity Circuit. I don't think I've heard of that. Heard about a Doom mod I'd probably be interested in? You should DM me it. I'll check it out. Where am I going? Oh, I'm done. Luckily, the exploration has gotten a lot better. There are a lot of open fields with not much in them, and the big problem is the equipment system. If the equipment system was better, there'd be more to find, but there's literally nothing to find because there's nothing you would ever find value in. What the heck? How do I... Am I dumb? Don't answer that. Does this... Am I dumb? What am I missing here? He said go upstairs. But... Oh. Got it. I think there's more Akashic here. Luckily, this game has a lot of amazing things also, but if you're playing it for an open world adventure with a lot of things to find, you'll be very disappointed. I agree. There's really very little reward for exploration in this game. Luckily, the side quests make up for that. Not in rewards, but in story depth. You're rewarded with story depth by playing all the side quests. And through that, you explore the whole world and learn more about the world. But as for just running around and finding useful stuff, there's literally none of it. It's very lacking in that way. But that's just one aspect of an otherwise very good game. Thanks, Staru.
No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents, and it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
I agree, but at the same time, I don't know if I want Final Fantasy XVII to be another one of these. You know what I mean? Maybe. But I'd be okay with them doing something different as well. I'm kind of up for either trying to do something different again, or taking this and refining it. I think both could be good. I almost think that if they made, I hate to say it, but a sequel and kind of refined this and then did something different with 17, I'd be okay with that too. Or just refined it with the DLC, but I think there's too much of the core mechanics that need refined for a DLC to fix it. Like, the whole equipment system needs changed. A DLC isn't going to fix that. I think what I'm more interested in is the storytelling and the way that it's, you know, changed to be this more of, like... I hate to keep bringing up Game of Thrones, but this Game of Thrones, Netflix-esque storytelling that is much more akin to a TV series or movie instead of a video game, and how we see that continue on into other Square Enix games and the Final Fantasy series as a whole. That's what I'm interested in. I wonder if this is the start of every Final Fantasy game being more of a movie. And whether or not that's a good or bad thing, because I think if you had told me before playing this game, hey, Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy XVI is basically a Netflix movie with gameplay, I would have been like, wow, I hate Square Enix. What did they do to my beloved series? But now that I've played it, I feel like it works so well. I mean, truly, I have been very happy with the way this game has told its story. And even though it's an insane amount of cutscenes, I have yet to be bored by any cutscene. So I'm not against games, especially in the Final Fantasy series, continuing down this path of being way more cutscene story driven, as long as they do it correctly. You know? But I'm curious. Are they going to continue this, or is 17 going to be more of a action-packed, less story-driven game? Like, how's it going to pan out? I don't know. Because I think they got a little bit of backlash when it comes to this game and how its story is told, but I feel like in general people are approving of this new style. So I would have to think they're going to continue down this path. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Survivor. And she sounds close.
How in the world have you stayed here for this long?
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. You must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away.
What a Chad.
He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your sound, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
Why do I have a feeling it's going to be a
We have to run.
behemoth?
It's out there waiting
That's
for
right.
me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
It's kind of obvious it was going to be a behemoth, huh? Yeah, I mean, if I have the choice between Final Fantasy XV basically giving us no story and expecting us to Google it and watch a movie and play a mobile game to understand what's going on, and this game, which is maybe a bit heavy on the cutscenes but tells the story in a Netflix-esque way where we can be engaged the entire time, obviously I'm going to be going for this instead. So if this is the future versus 15, I'm here for it. But maybe they take I wouldn't say backlash, but the criticisms from this game, and in their future games they continue to tell stories in this way, but maybe do it in a way that's less cutscene heavy. Because I feel like that's really the only complaint that I've heard so far, and really I haven't heard that complaint much, but I do think some people this is a bit too much for them. I don't know. I really need to play the game again without doing the side quests, because without the side quests, I really don't think it would have been that many cutscenes. Like, I feel like we could have gotten through the game in 40, 50 hours, maybe even less. I think it's the cutscenes that really made it feel like a lot of talking. But we'll have to see. No, we're not done with the game yet, Bubbly. Who's a beast? How's it going, Bink? I almost called you Blink, and then I realized it was 2 eyes, not no. Welcome. I am also very much enjoying the game. It has its flaws, but I'm very much enjoying it. Personally, I'm loving it. It's definitely my style of game, so I was destined to love it, even if it had more flaws than this. Alright, stop. I think that's just the side quest cutscenes that you're seeing, Solid. The actual cutscenes are much better. They did not put as much time and care into the in-engine cutscenes, though. They are really weird looking. That's one big gripe that I have, is that they didn't put more work into the in-engine cutscenes, and they come off as really awkward. Especially when put next to a real cutscene, because they look so good. And then the in-engine cutscenes just look really not good in comparison. Oh, I was too late. I screwed up this real bad. I think I still killed him though, because I'm so freaking strong at this point. Jeez. I completely screwed it up and got 120,000 still. This is an A. Or no, this is just a side quest. This isn't even a... Or maybe it was. Was it a hunt? Because it did show up, like, with his name and everything. So apparently this was like a hunt side quest hybrid.
Finally.
Kind of neat.
Sid, are you hurt?
I mean, we've had those before.
I'm fine.
The other ones, we had to go to the board and talk to the Moogle, and then it told us where it was, and then we had to do the hunt, and then that was part of the side quest. Here, we never even heard about the hunt. We were doing the side quest, and then it was just like, boom, there's a hunt.
I think.
So this was a bit different, but it was a surprise hunt. Surprise mechanics.
No.
Oh my god, Chadwick got turned into a book.
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
Oh, I was hoping for once the person we thought died actually didn't die. You're telling me he ate Chadwick but left the diary? Kinda. Why was he carrying the diary, and why was that the only thing you didn't eat? Video game logic.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
It's been days?
She is.
How does time work in this universe?
Slowly, but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a
You
brother.
try and eat a diary.
I wish I could
True.
have met him.
You're not
I'd
wrong.
like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their shackles. And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done. For Chadwick, and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Where's the thirsty lady? She normally stands there. Oh, wait, was that her? It's little things like this that bother me. It's not like it ruins the game or anything, but it truly does bother me. Why have the diary there? Like, you could have just said, where's Chadwick? Oh, we don't see him. He must have gotten eaten. Like, because the diary isn't one of those things where it's like, oh, he would have never lost home without... He would have never left this behind unless he got eaten. Like, it was just a diary she gave to him. And the girl already said that he was there. I'm sure the girl didn't lie. So they could have just said, well, he's not here. He must have gotten eaten. Or we could have had his dead body there. Or we could have had a blood stain. Or, like, why the diary? It's just some, like... They could have done that a million different ways and it would have been less awkward. A near cooldown by 2 seconds. Oh, boy. I suppose, but we already knew he was there. Like, I feel like that was just kind of silly. Like, that we didn't need that. Okay, she's still saying the same weird thing. Wait. Oh, we gotta talk to the kids? Or no, we have to talk to... Yeah, I remember now.
I hear that you traveled to Ash, Cid. Did you by any chance recover the names of my fallen friends?
I did. Yes.
If I may? The bearer registry.
I'm nitpicking. But it's just like, if I'm designing that quest, then I'm thinking like, okay, the kid just said Chadwick defended me from the monster. And then we go in there and we kill the monster. There's like a million different ways you could convey to the player that the dude died. And out of all those million ways to convey it, the last thing I would think of is like, oh, there's a book that we gave him when I was a kid. And apparently he's carried it around this entire time. And now that's the only thing left of his body is this diary. There's nothing else. No blood, no boots, no nothing. Just the diary. That's the only thing that dropped. You know what I mean? Like, it's certainly not game ruining, and it's certainly not implausible or like completely implausible, but it's just like, out of all the things you could have picked, that's what you went with, was like a big goofy looking book on the ground. You know what I mean?
The director was a brutal man. He got no worse than he deserved.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree.
Well, of course I had bigger issues. I'm not saying that that's a big deal. I was just talking about it because that's what was happening at the time.
I pray that at least some of them survived. All their names are here. The ones we lost.
Just commenting on what's going on.
My light in those dark times. I can still remember their faces, like it was yesterday. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning, never to return. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived, Herman.
But why did I make it out alive, when so many others died in that awful place?
It's not your fault. And blaming yourself won't bring them back. Honor their memory. See that their names live on. That way, at least. They're never truly gone.
Thank you, Sid. I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, and the spirit of those its custodians sought to crush. All of Valisthea will know of our suffering, and in the name of those I lost, I will not let it happen again.
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity, were it not for you. Thank you.
I feel like they're kind of trying... Ooh. It seems like they're trying to convey that, like, Ash was the worst of the worst, actually. Which is interesting, because they were... the lead... They were kind of, like, on their own. Like, they weren't attacking other countries for the longest time. They were, like, secluded. So people didn't really know all of the horrors going on, but apparently they were, like, even worse than the Empire, it seems. Which is cool that we're finding that out now. I'm glad that these side quests are kind of telling us more about Ash, because it did kind of come out of nowhere. Like, it didn't come out of nowhere, but we didn't know much about Ash because they were so secluded. And then we just kind of went in and killed Odin. So it's cool that we're getting more of the world building there now. Is there anything else to do here? I have another letter and another hunt. Yeah, it can be hard sometimes. Like, I like to be critical of everything because that's, I mean, what else am I going to do? Just stand here and say nothing? But it's hard because people will come in while I'm being critical and not hear all of the nice things I've had to say over the past 80 hours and just hear the critical things I'm saying, and then it comes across incorrectly, or even vice versa. But that's just the way it goes. I have to kind of... Oh, another S. It's just one of those things you kind of have to let go, because there's no real way around it. People that watch the full playthrough will understand all of the positives and negatives I've had to say, and after the game is over, I want to do a full review of everything to get all of my thoughts out after playing the entire game, and not thoughts that I'm just like fleeting thoughts that I'm having during the game, but actually collect all of my thoughts into a specific review that has all of the context in mind. Because there's a lot of things that I say that I'm like, oh, the side quests suck right now, and then later the side quests get better, and then, oh, well, now I understand why. Well, not necessarily that I understand why they sucked, but, you know, you get more context as you play through, so a full review of the game will be a better way of actually collecting my thoughts. But as the playthrough goes, you're going to have people jump in at random times and have, you know, hear things out of context, and that's just something that's always going to happen. You just kind of have to accept it and move on. Clive, it occurs to me that a single word of thanks does not nearly suffice to express my gratitude for reuniting me with From a Distance. The tome made me who I am today, and yet I thought that I should never set eyes upon it again, that those who took it from me had forever robbed me of a part of myself. But now I am whole again, thanks to you. I regret that I can only fill in the gaps in your knowledge and not the holes in your soul, for which reason I shall ever be in your debt. I really like these letters. I don't know what it is about them, but they give like a nice finality to the side quests. No, it'll be a video. Like, I want to do a full review video. Alright, well, I guess we'll leave it there. We have some hunts. We still have a lot of side quests. So, hopefully, tomorrow, we can get all these side quests done and finish the game. There's still a lot, but in 8 hours, we should hopefully be able to do it. It's crazy, though. I feel like we did so many, and there's still so many left. It really is the final side quest dungeon. They really threw them all at us at the end here, as I figured they might do. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do our best. I think, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to make any promises because it always ends up, something comes up and then we don't actually finish, but finale part 3 tomorrow. But I think I am going to do my absolute best to finish tomorrow. I would love to be able to finish tomorrow so that Friday we can either start with post-game or do a double day of 13. So, I mean, if we get close, I'll do my best to finish, even if I have to, like, stream a little longer and do whatever, or add some bonus time to the stream or whatever, do whatever we can to try to finish. But if I'm not that close, then I'm not going to rush it. I do want to make sure I do everything. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. No, I can't stream Thursday. Thursday I'll be working on the cloud video. Hopefully finish it. I can't tell you how excited I am to finish the cloud video. And move on to other characters, and I also have a lot of planning to do for the events we have coming up. There's so much down the pipeline I can't wait for. So, but yeah, that'll be it for Final Fantasy XVI today. Tomorrow we're going to make the final push to try to finish. But thanks so much for watching the Let's Play up to this point. We got to say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, thank you so much for all the support, for watching this whole Let's Play. I didn't really think at the start of this Let's Play that it would be one of the longest Let's Plays I've ever done, but looking back on it, I think it's going to be one of the longest Let's Plays we've ever done. It's just going and going and going. You know, it won't rival Final Fantasy XII, but it's going to be a long one. And I'm glad you've stuck through it for this whole time. Hope you've enjoyed all the conversations we've had. I can't wait to finish the game so I can go back and read all the comments and, you know, hear all the discussions that you guys have had on your own and added to our conversations that we've had. I want to hear everyone's opinions on some of the big conversations we've had in terms of Final Fantasy in general and this game and how it fits in and the good things about this game and the bad things about this game. I want to hear it all. So excited to go back and read everyone's comments. I've been dodging them for now because I want to finish the story first, but once I finish the story, I'm going to have like hundreds of comments to read. So that'll be fun. And I'm excited to hear what you guys think. But for now, we will see you in the next episodes of Let's Play Final Fantasy XVI. We'll see you there. Peace.